Hi, this is Majinoni, and here's my review for Flashpoint, Batman Night of Vengeance. Now, I know I said I really wasn't going to be buying any of these spin-offs, but I've heard such good things about this title, I just had to buy it. Now, I'm not going to do a spoiler for this because I think, even though this book's been out for a while, and by now it's probably already spoiled, I just don't want to be the one responsible in case you don't know um, the events of what happens at the issue 2. But this is what I can say. Brian Azzarello did an amazing job with this miniseries. This is a prime example of what you should do in a storyline like Flashpoint, or even in an Elseworlds title. The fact that he took an existing world that we all know and love, and he twisted it in such a way that there were twists and turns along the way, and by the time I saw the ending, I was like, this is a phenomenal piece of writing. Now, another reason why I want to get this done is because if you guys haven't bought this, you can still buy this on your comic book shelves. Comic book stores, some of them, the smart comic book stores, will have a section for Flashpoint, and they'll have all the issues there, so hopefully they'll still have issue 1, 2, and 3. I think 3 came out like a week or two ago. So, I mean, this stuff should still be available. Now, to give you just a quick rundown of what's going on, and I'll show you the art for the first issue. What you have here is, you have, if you remember from Flashpoint, Bruce Wayne died in that fateful night. And you have the Waynes, the mother and father, survived. Now, what you have, where the twist is, with the, I guess you could say, if you remember with Bruce Wayne, he had the industrialized, companies where he would mass produce his weapons and cars and things like that. Well, what Thomas Wayne did was he created a casino, and he thinks that this is a way that he can keep an eye on criminals, which, in some flawed sense of logic, that is correct, because criminals will come to gamble. So this is a way you can keep track of them. And actually, one part that was smart is, you extend lines of credit to them, and eventually you have some sort of influence over them. Now, what I thought was interesting is you have the Penguin is basically like Thomas Wayne's one of his right-hand man for running the casino, and Commissioner Gordon is kind of like in charge of his security, and they both know that he's Thomas Wayne is Batman. Now, the thing that's tying all three of these issues together is the Joker basically kidnapped Harvey Dent, Two-Face's, for those of you who don't know Two-Face, they kidnapped his son and daughter. And basically, he knows that Batman is Thomas Wayne, and he's like, look, you get my kids back alive, or else there's going to be hell to pay with your casino. I gave you concessions, I let you do this, I let you do that, and now you owe me. And so I thought that was like this whole build-up. It was like Brian took like a very familiar story, and he really flipped it. He basically table flipped it, and it made things interesting. Every character I saw became interesting to me because their motivations were slightly different. And James Gordon, he's the same person. When I read his lines, I see, the old Gordon, but at the same time, he's such a unique character now. He's like filled with doubt on his performance with Thomas Wayne, because of a discussion they had. Even the Penguin, he's a totally different person, and it's kind of like it makes you wonder what the Penguin would have turned out if there wasn't a Batman, to have influenced all these villains to, mature the way they did. And the other thing that's really unique about Thomas Wayne being Batman is he kills. Now, in this issue here, they establish how ruthless he is. They're trying to find Oracle is trying to find out leads on the Joker, and they're not. There's no concrete lead, but there are people who have disappeared. So Batman goes into the sewers to see what's going on, and he manages to meet Killer Croc. Now, the battle with Killer Croc it's short but sweet, but he basically takes a knife and sticks it right in his head, and Croc is dead. So I like the turn of events that's happening here. You have a Batman. This is the Batman I've wanted to see for so long, and it never happens. And here it is right there in front of my eyes, and unfortunately, all I get is 3 issues, which is very, very upsetting. But I don't want to ruin who Oracle is, but Oracle is not who you think it is, but they took a lot of what's familiar with Oracle, and then her basic theme, I guess you could say her persona is the same, but I think so far, I think like I said, this was a home run story, and like I said, I would show you more, but I really don't want to spoil anything, because while you can figure out some of the twists and turns as you're reading the book, I just don't want to be the one responsible for it, because this was awesome. This was an amazing miniseries, and I think if DC had more books like this, then they wouldn't have the problem that they're having right now with Marvel completely obliterating them in sales all the time. Because this was, like I said, this was a really solid, fun, entertaining read that took chances. I even think the art is good. And it almost reminds me of Frank Miller a little bit. Just, especially like the scenes like this. This is like old Frank Miller with the, if you remember from the Daredevil run. It has that kind of an influence, and I think that kind of fits the story perfectly. Great read. If you have any comments or questions, let me know. Rate the video up or down. Let me know what you think. And actually, if this thing comes out in a trade, I'm probably going to buy it too. So I'll have more reviews later. So until next time.